The room hums softly with time. Sunlight rests on the buttermilk walls, and the old trunk in the center holds more than books. It holds stories whispered over tea and winter afternoons, oxblood leather, indigo threads, a harmony of comfort and quiet confidence. By the window, New England light dances through lace, bathing blue china and blushing hydrangeas in soft reflection. It's the kind of beauty that doesn't ask to be seen. It simply exists like a memory still warm in your hands. Over by the draped window, a velvet throw rests like an embrace, deep red against the hush of the afternoon. The air smells faintly of lavender and worn wood, and somewhere, you feel your grandmother's laughter lingering still. Evening falls gently here. Candles flicker against woven frames and indigo plates, and every corner feels like a chapter left open, a home not styled but remembered, Grandmacore at heart, New England in spirit, and nostalgia painted in buttermilk and oxblood dreams. There's a stillness here that speaks in whispers. Candles lean gently toward the light, casting their glow on indigo pillows and worn buttermilk walls. The room feels lived in, loved in, the kind of warmth that doesn't announce itself. It simply lingers. By the patterned wall, soft lamps hum like a heartbeat. A tapestry frame catches the last of the day's light. Its oxblood threads deep and familiar. Beyond the archway, you catch a glimpse of the dining room, like a memory waiting for company again. Down the hall, the cabinet stands proudly, its shelves lined with indigo plates that have seen generations of suppers. The buttermilk paint has aged just enough. Each chip and mark another verse in the home's quiet hymn. And here, tucked beneath the window, wooden crates cradle folded quilts, oxblood, blue and cream. The brass vase beside them holds a story too. Flowers gathered on an ordinary morning, made beautiful by the way they were placed. Steam curls from the teapot like a slow sigh of comfort. Buttermilk sunlight slips across the wooden table, meeting indigo mugs and oxblood threads that run like memory down the runner. The room feels alive with quiet, a stillness that welcomes not emptiness but belonging. A rug hums softly underfoot, its red and blue patterns warming the hush of the New England morning. Brick, brass and aged oak, a palette of patience, a hymn to the homes that never hurry you. The old kettle breathes gently on the range, its crimson paint faded by years of use, not neglect. There's something deeply kind about it, a beauty earned slowly, like wisdom steeped in every boil. By twilight, the table is laid once more. Indigo plates, linen folds, candles low and flickering like a heartbeat. Outside, the world quiets. Inside, everything glows in the tender colors of memory: buttermilk, oxblood, and blue. The morning begins softly here, with light spilling across indigo cabinets, and the quiet strength of old wood floors. Two embroidered stools wait patiently, their tassels brushing against time, their colors, buttermilk and oxblood, whispering of yesterdays that mattered. Flour dust floats through a sunbeam like tiny ghosts of memory. Hands knead the dough with rhythm, each fold a conversation with the past. The table bears its scars with grace, a blue-worn surface that has known stories, supper prayers and small unspoken joys. By the window, the scent of muffins mingles with light, a woven basket, a simple pot, the clink of blue china. This is what home sounds like when it exhales. Outside, the garden leans close, as if listening to the quiet music of an ordinary morning. Evening returns with a slow golden tone. A metal pitcher, bruised with age, catches the last of the day's warmth. Wild herbs reach toward the window, their fragrance soft as gratitude. The house feels full, not with noise, but with peace. The morning light finds its way through linen curtains, resting softly on a woolen throw. Indigo and oxblood intertwined like memory and time. Two old spice mills sit nearby, their dark patina whispering stories of kitchens that once hummed with laughter. Here every texture feels lived in, every shadow gentle. By the window, a bowl of apples glows under the low flame of a candle. The air smells faintly of beeswax and old wood. A folded plaid rests across the counter, its fringe brushing against stacks of books. A still life of everyday beauty, quietly unplanned, softly perfect. Down the hall, the pantry hums with calm. Jars line the shelves in tidy patience. Grains, herbs, and spices, simple treasures in glass. A blue vase of flowers leans toward the light, reminding you that abundance isn't noise, it's rhythm. Evening falls upon the bedroom like a sigh. The indigo headboard carries the weight of rest, while oxblood pillows cradle the day's softness. Layers of quilts, some faded, some new, weave warmth across the bed like a lullaby. You exhale, and the house exhales with you. Morning stretches slowly across the room, pouring through old windows like a familiar song. A plaid curtain sways, and the buttermilk light brushes over a nest of pillows. Woven rugs and the soft hum of stillness feels like sitting inside a memory, the kind you never meant to keep, but always do. On the weathered table, a folded tartan rests beside a basket of linens and lavender. The wood bears its age proudly, cracked, warm, alive. Everything here tells the same story. Comfort doesn't ask to be noticed, just waits quietly in corners like this. Candles burn low. Their flame steady against deep indigo walls. A patchwork cushion leans softly, its oxblood threads glowing like dusk. The air smells faintly of beeswax and books, and you realize nostalgia isn't sadness, it's gratitude wearing time's colors. Near the window, quilts are folded with gentle precision. Florals, plaids, and faded blues stacked like small seasons. A wicker chest anchors them, a keeper of quiet stories. The light shifts, and for a moment the house exhales, as if remembering every warm day it's ever known. The day begins here, where an old clock hums gently beside the lamplight, its tick steady as breath. The wood beneath your hand is worn smooth, painted once in buttermilk, now kissed by time. A small vase of lavender leans toward the morning, a quiet promise that some beauty never fades. Along the cabinet, stacks of folded blankets rest like pages in a storybook. Indigo, cream, oxblood, the colors of warmth remembered. The air smells faintly of linen and cedar, and in this hush, you can almost hear the echo of hands that folded them before you. Down the hallway, golden light stretches across the rug, tracing its red and blue threads with gentle certainty. Framed botanical prints line the wall, a garden kept alive on paper and memory. The floorboards creak in greeting, their sound the heartbeat of a house that still remembers every step. At the far end, a basket overflows with folded throws, their patterns soft and familiar. A brass lamp flickers beside dried blooms, the scent of old books lingering in the air. You pause not because of the beauty, but the day fades softly in this room. Candlelight trembling against indigo walls, a cabinet brushed in buttermilk hues, its surface holding brass bowls and fading blooms. Every corner feels like it's been loved into stillness. You can almost hear the hush of an evening long ago, the echo of footsteps returning home. Further in, the hallway stretches quietly beneath old frames. Botanical prints worn with time hang like pressed memories, tender and unhurried. The air smells faintly of linen and wood polish, and the rug beneath your feet hums with oxblood reds, a steady rhythm against the blue. On the console, a wicker basket rests, filled with folded throws and a whisper of lavender. The candle beside it burns low, its flame mirrored in the golden frames above. This is not perfection. This is peace, the kind that only grows in houses that have lived. And then the light opens. A wicker sofa waits by tall windows, dressed in indigo and oxblood cushions. A small garden beyond pressing its face to the glass. The world outside hums softly, and the house, breathing through its walls, feels alive with kindness. Some spaces don't just hold time, they hold you. Morning stretches her fingers across the windowsill, touching pots of thyme, lavender, and small red blooms. The watering can waits, still warm from yesterday's sun. Buttermilk light spills through the panes, and for a breath even the air feels like home. A blue teapot rests between soft laughter and silence. Strawberries glisten on gingham cloth, their sweetness a quiet echo of summer. The indigo walls cradle the room in calm, and somewhere in the stillness, a clock ticks softly like a heartbeat you forgot you missed. Hydrangeas lean in from a blue porcelain jug, their petals heavy with warmth and age. Wicker chairs gather near, their cushions stitched in oxblood and cream, a small council of comfort, in the hush of an afternoon that lingers too long on purpose. By the hearth a cup of tea sighs into steam. Red plaid curtains frame the view like a painting, a window not just to the garden but to memory itself. The room glows in soft indigo and gold, and time as always slows down to listen. The morning light rests gently on the clawfoot tub, where a red towel drapes like a slow exhale of warmth. Steam curls into the indigo air, and the wicker basket beside it hums with soft linen patience. The rug, worn and kind, carries stories of footsteps long familiar. On the counter, a bar of soap sits in a china dish, wrapped with a ribbon of oxblood thread. The scent of lavender and cedar drifts upward, simple, honest, timeless. Behind it, porcelain vases glow in quiet harmony, a still life of care and calm. By the basin, blue hydrangeas lean into the light, their petals blurring into the color of memory. A red pitcher anchors the moment, its gloss reflecting the slow rhythm of the room. The scale above ticks softly, a heartbeat echoing through still air. Further in, the mirror holds a reflection of another time. A flicker of lace, a glint of brass, a hush of blue. The drapes fall in heavy folds of indigo and buttermilk, their edges kissed with oxblood trim. You pause, listening to the quiet conversation between fabric, fragrance, and light. And in that stillness, you realize home can be a whisper, and beauty a kind of prayer. Morning hums in shades of blue and cream. The indigo cabinets gleam softly under the window light, and baskets wait like old companions beside the washer's gentle whir. A floral rug catches the warmth from the buttermilk walls, a touch of softness beneath the rhythm of the day. On the work table, a basket brims with folded fabrics, threads of oxblood and sky intertwined. A spool of blue yarn rests beside a thimble and worn scissors, quiet proof that beauty often hides in the simple act of making and mending. Freshly pressed linens wait in calm stacks, indigo, ivory, and soft brown layered like pages in a gentle story. Beside them, a wicker basket leans against polished wood, a small still life of care, patience, and the satisfaction of things well tended. And then outside, the day exhales into gold. Lanterns flicker against ivy-covered walls, and the path glows with flowers still warm from the sun. A table waits beneath the wisteria, cups cooling, candles breathing. Here work becomes rest, and home becomes heart. Afternoon light drifts across the room, settling on an old trunk where stories rest beneath the weight of books. Buttermilk walls breathe warmth, and threads of indigo and oxblood hum softly beneath your fingertips. This isn't just a living room, it's a pause in time. By the window, blue china and fading hydrangeas glow. Their quiet elegance feels familiar, like something once loved. The light moves tenderly, turning stillness into comfort, and memory into something you can almost touch. A velvet throw drapes across the chair. Red as autumn wine, soft as a sigh. The air smells faintly of herbs and old wood, and in the calm, you feel the echo of a grandmother's hum. Evening arrives gently. Candles flicker, shadows lean closer, and the house exhales. Every plate, every fold of fabric holds the kind of peace only time can teach. Soft light trembles through the room, resting on buttermilk walls and indigo threads. Two candles breathe in rhythm. Their glow catches the edges of old books, and for a moment you can almost hear time slow down. Along the wallpaper, oxblood and blue intertwine like gentle conversation. A tapestry hums with the memory of hands that once stitched its heart. Through the doorway, the dining room waits, still carrying the echo of laughter that used to live here. The cabinet glows in the half-light, filled with indigo china that has held countless meals and quiet prayers. Every curve, every plate feels softly proud, a museum of ordinary grace. By the floor, quilts rest in wooden crates, their colors deep as dusk, their stitching tender as old love. A brass vase gleams beside them, holding a handful of wildflowers, simple but enough. The morning drifts in quietly, carrying the scent of tea and wood. Steam rises in slow ribbons from the old kettle, catching the light that spills through buttermilk walls. Indigo mugs rest against oxblood threads, a palette that feels like comfort made visible. The kitchen hums and whispers, the soft scrape of a chair, the rustle of curtains. A rug gathers morning gold beneath your feet, its worn reds and blues telling stories of every season before. At the stove, the kettle breathes again, the kind of sound that fills a silence beautifully. Its handle, polished by years of hands, reminds you that warmth doesn't come from the flame alone. Later, the table will fill with laughter, but for now it holds peace. Linen folded softly, blue dishes waiting. Every edge of this room feels kind, as if time itself decided to stay a little longer. The day begins with a hush, a slow warmth creeping across the old floorboards. Indigo cabinets breathe quietly under the morning light, and two tapestry stools wait in patience, their oxblood threads glowing like memories catching sun. Flour drifts like soft snow through golden air. Hands work the dough, steady, unhurried, as if the recipe was learned from love, not from books. The table carries its age with grace, the wood darkened by laughter and time. By the open window, light falls upon a basket of muffins. Buttermilk walls catch the glow, and the scent of baked sweetness fills the stillness. Here even silence tastes warm. On the counter, wild herbs lean toward the fading light, their green softened by dusk's gold. A pitcher stands nearby, cool and worn, holding not just flowers but a sense of home, the kind that never leaves you even when you go. Morning leans gently through the window, touching woven threads of indigo and oxblood. Two worn spice mills rest beside the folded cloth, their patina rich with years of use and quiet joy. The air feels hushed, as if the house itself is still waking. A candle flickers near the bowl of apples, its flame steady, its glow kind. The table wears its age with grace, buttermilk tones brushed with warmth and memory. Here stillness feels alive, like breath held in peace. Down the corridor, glass jars stand in perfect calm. Oats, grains, herbs, the rhythm of everyday life. A blue vase catches the last trace of morning, its flowers leaning toward the light, as though they too remember. Evening arrives with soft certainty. The indigo headboard holds the day's stories, while oxblood pillows cradle the hush of night. Every fold, every thread, whispers one simple truth: comfort is love quietly kept. The afternoon drifts softly through the old window, touching every thread, every fold of fabric with golden patience. A woven rug, a plaid curtain, a vase of garden blooms. The air hums with the scent of comfort and time. Here stillness feels like company. On the console, folded blankets rest beside a small basket of lavender. The wood beneath them carries the marks of countless seasons, each one leaving behind a little warmth, a little wisdom. A candle flickers, not to light the room, but to remind it that it's loved. By the wall, patchwork pillows lean against deep indigo panels, their oxblood threads glowing softly in the candlelight. There's poetry in the quiet repetition of texture and tone, the way fabric remembers touch, the way light forgives time. In the corner, quilts are stacked neatly atop a wicker chest, their ribbons tied in shades of blue and red. They wait, not forgotten but ready, for warmth, for memory, for another slow morning when home feels like forever. Morning finds the room in stillness, buttermilk light brushing across the clock's brass face. Time feels gentle here, its rhythm softened by the hush of fabric and wood. Lavender leans toward the light, as though the day has promised kindness. Folded blankets rest like old friends, their colors indigo, cream, and oxblood, woven with patience. You can almost hear the quiet sigh of linen, a sound that belongs to mornings like this. Down the hallway, the rug catches sunlight, its threads glimmering like memory. The scent of wood and old paper lingers, and the framed botanicals bloom softly under glass, a gallery of still moments. At the console, woven throws wait in a basket, each one holding warmth from winters past. A lamp glows beside a small brass candlestick, and the room breathes. You pause listening, and realize that peace has a sound after all. The first light slips in quietly, spilling across buttermilk cabinets and faded rugs. The air smells of wax, of wood, of calm beginnings. A single candle, long cooled, stands beside a vase of dried blooms, a memory caught between stillness and song. The hallway hums softly under frames of pressed flowers and old sketches. The indigo walls hold their shadows with grace, their blues deep as an early sky. You trace your fingers along the wainscot, paint worn smooth, stories tucked beneath the grain. By the console, a basket of woven warmth waits, blankets folded with care, threads brushed with time. The mirror above catches the morning light, a shimmer of gold against blue, as if the house itself is waking. And here the sunroom breeze, the wicker sofa, soft with pillows of oxblood and cream, leans toward the window's quiet glow. Outside, the garden stretches awake, and everything feels like a beginning remembered, gentle, slow, and kind. The morning begins in whispers, light spilling across clay pots of rosemary and lavender. Steam curls from the watering can, and the air smells of soil and sunlight. Buttermilk walls catch the quiet, turning it into comfort. A blue teapot waits among gingham cloth and wild berries, the scent of early sweetness filling the air. The room feels alive in its hush, like time itself has decided to rest here a while. You can almost hear the echo of a soft good morning, carried on the light. Hydrangeas bloom in their porcelain jug, heads heavy, colors deep. Wicker creaks gently as the day leans forward, and the indigo walls glow with that gentle kind of blue, the one that remembers old songs. By the window, a cup of tea breathes warmth into the air. Steam drifts up toward red plaid curtains, and the world outside seems to wait. Here, morning is not something to rush, something to feel. The morning drifts softly across the room, touching brass, porcelain, and still water. A red towel rests against the buttermilk tub, its folds glowing in the first gold of day. The wicker basket beside it hums quietly, filled with the scent of sun-warmed linen. On the counter, soap wrapped in oxblood ribbon waits, a small ritual of care. The blue china beneath it catches the light, its glaze shimmering like the calm before a thought. Everything feels unhurried here, the kind of silence that soothes instead of empties. By the basin, a red pitcher holds blue hydrangeas, their petals catching droplets of soft light. The old scale above ticks faintly, a heartbeat for the morning's quiet routine. Even the air feels kind, stitched with lavender and warmth. In the mirror, the world is slow and lovely. A wash of buttermilk walls and indigo folds. The drapes sway gently with the breeze, whispering of days that begin in peace. Here time feels tender, and the room breathes like morning itself. Morning spills softly across the floor, finding its way through linen curtains. The washer hums a steady tune, and indigo cabinets gleam like calm water under sunlight. The air smells faintly of soap and peonies, clean, quiet, and kind. A wicker basket sits open on the table, threads of red and blue tangled with light. The old thimble gleams beside folded linen, a still life of patience. You can almost hear the soft rhythm of care, woven through every stitch. Fresh fabric waits in calm stacks, cream, indigo, and taupe. Beside them, a wicker basket leans into the morning, the scent of sun-dried cotton lingering in the air. There's no hurry here, only the small grace of a day unfolding slowly. Outside, the garden blushes awake, dew catching on lavender and wild rose. A chair by the table waits for its first cup of tea, steam rising soft as prayer. The morning hums its tender refrain. This is what peace sounds like. There's a hush here, the kind that makes you breathe slower. An oxblood trunk anchors the room, its brass corners glinting under soft afternoon light. The buttermilk walls feel like a warm hand on your shoulder. By the window, hydrangeas bloom in deep indigo and faded rose, their colors echoing through china plates and woven cloth. Nothing tries too hard, it just belongs. A quiet reminder that beauty lives in what endures. A crimson throw catches the glow from the lamp, curling gently around old cushions and the scent of lavender. You can almost hear the creak of the floorboards, the language of a home that remembers you. When night settles, candles hum in their holders, and shadows turn tender. Every color softens, indigo deepens, oxblood warms, and you realize comfort has always been this simple. The room feels wrapped in honeyed light. Candles flicker beside soft indigo cushions, their flames mirrored in old glass and brass. The air carries the faint scent of linen and lavender, a comfort only time can season. An embroidered tapestry leans above the paneled wall, its oxblood thread still rich after all these years. Beyond, a glimpse of a dining table, set not for guests but for memories. In the corner, the cabinet hums quietly with color. Indigo and cream plates line up like old friends, each one a soft echo of Sunday dinners gone by. You can almost hear the creak of the drawer, a lullaby of wood and time. Stacked quilts whisper in gentle tones of blue and burgundy, their edges frayed from use, not neglect. A brass vase gathers the morning light beside them, as if the house itself wanted to say, "I remember." There's a tenderness in the air, the kind that can't be designed, only remembered. Steam rises from the pot, and the indigo glaze of the cups glows in the soft morning hush. The air feels still but alive, a quiet moment that doesn't ask for more. Sunlight spills across the brick wall, painting it in honey and dust. A red rug anchors the room like an old story retold. You could almost hear the echo of footsteps, the rustle of aprons, the rhythm of lived life. An aged kettle hums softly on the stove, its oxblood enamel dulled by kindness, not time. It speaks in the smallest language, one of patience, repetition, and care. By afternoon, the table becomes a memory in progress. Buttermilk tones glowing beneath the flicker of candlelight. Each plate, each napkin fold, feels like a small act of devotion. This is what home sounds like, a conversation between yesterday and today. There's a gentle rhythm in this room, a hum between the creak of the floor and the scent of tea. Two stools, frayed and faithful, guard the heart of the kitchen like old friends. Their indigo threads meet the worn warmth of wood, quiet poetry beneath morning light. Hands move slowly, pressing, folding, teaching dough how to rise. It's the language of care. Soft, patient, passed down through time. The table listens, its surface remembering every meal that began this way. Near the window, a basket overflows with muffins, steam curling like soft laughter. Blue china glimmers faintly, a reflection of all the mornings that came before. Outside, the garden nods in approval, a witness to life's smallest, sweetest rituals. Later, as the light fades, a brass pitcher catches the last gold of day. Wild herbs spill from its rim, their fragrance mixing with bread and memory. And in this stillness, the house feels alive, breathing through the hands that built its warmth. There's something sacred in the quiet before the day begins. A woolen throw rests like an old friend, its colors deep indigo, worn red, woven with patience and memory. Nearby, the spice mills stand still, their presence soft, familiar, kind. The window breathes light across the wooden counter. Apples wait in a blue bowl beside a single candle, their skin catching firelight, their beauty found in simplicity. It's the kind of stillness that feels like being remembered. In the pantry, glass jars line up in quiet order, each one holding something useful, something honest. The buttermilk walls hum in soft tones, the blue vase blooms beside them, a touch of grace in the rhythm of routine. Night settles slowly across the bedroom, the quilt catching gold from the last of the lamps. Indigo deepens, oxblood softens, the room exhales, a lullaby of linen, wood, and peace. And you realize, the heart of home is not in its walls, but in its warmth. Light pools in the window seat like honey, brushing across linen and wool, where a vase of deep red roses blooms quietly. The buttermilk walls reflect the day in soft silence, and the house feels alive with gentleness. The old table holds its small treasures, a plaid throw, a woven basket, a single plate glazed in indigo blue. The beauty here isn't arranged, it's remembered, as if every object has found its way back home. Candles flicker beneath a framed mirror, their light gathering on the gold edges, spilling softly across a pillow stitched with love. Oxblood, navy and cream, a color story of comfort that doesn't fade, only deepens. Near the bed, folded quilts rest in quiet stacks, the air scented with linen and lavender. You can almost hear the hush of evening, the whisper of fabric settling, the soft exhale of a home that remembers you back. The afternoon settles quietly over the room. The clock ticks like a small heartbeat beside the lamp. Every grain of the wood remembers touch. Every faded edge feels honest. It's a kind of beauty that never tries, just endures. Along the cabinet, linens rest in gentle disorder. Oxblood, indigo, and cream softened by time. The air smells faintly of cedar and candle wax. Each fabric seems to whisper, "This is how home feels when it loves you back." Through the hallway, sunlight slides slowly across the floor. Botanical prints catch the glow, their leaves and flowers frozen in eternal bloom. A basket waits by the bench, a simple still life of patience and ease. At the far end, a vase of dried blooms rests in shadow. The basket beside it brims with folded throws, threads of comfort in every hue. You stop to smooth one with your hand, and for a fleeting second, the whole house feels alive, breathing warmth through memory. Afternoon light drapes itself across the room, turning indigo walls to velvet and brass to amber. The cabinet hums beneath the touch of sun, its buttermilk paint glowing like honey. A bowl of flowers rests nearby, their fragrance mingling with the warmth of the hour. Along the corridor, botanical prints gleam beneath glass, their colors deepened by the low golden light. The rug stretches out in oxblood and navy tones, each thread humming with quiet familiarity. You walk slower here, as if the air itself asks you to linger. On the console, candles burn in soft conversation. The wicker basket beside them holds blankets that smell faintly of lavender and thyme. It's the kind of beauty that doesn't demand your gaze. It meets you gently, like a friend you've always known. By the windows, sunlight settles on the wicker sofa, kissing the indigo cushions, warming the oxblood embroidery. Outside, the leaves shimmer in soft applause. Inside, the air feels thick with peace, as if the house itself sighs in gratitude for the day. The sun settles softly over the windowsill, warming the pots of thyme and basil. Shadows stretch across the buttermilk wood, and the scent of the garden drifts inside, a quiet bridge between hours. A table dressed in indigo and gingham holds a pot of tea and summer berries. The walls hum with that slow afternoon light, the kind that makes dust shimmer like tiny blessings. It's a room that feels tender in its stillness. On the woven table, a pitcher holds fading hydrangeas, their edges kissed by time. Around them, wicker chairs lean close, cushions soft in oxblood and cream. You can almost feel the warmth of hands that have arranged flowers here 100 times before. steam rises from a cup left cooling by the window. The breeze plays gently with the plaid curtains, the air thick with light and memory. It's not just a house, it's a heart, beating softly in the rhythm of afternoon. The afternoon rests in golden tones, softening every edge of blue and cream. The tub gleams under the hush of light, its brass taps still warm from the day. A towel in oxblood red folds like a pause, patient and beautiful. Soap sits in a dish of indigo china, its ribbon catching the glow. Behind it, a vase blooms with quiet greens, a still life of gentle order and care. There's a sweetness in the air, the perfume of a house that knows calm. On the counter, a red pitcher holds the bluest blooms, their scent soft as linen in sunlight. The scale above marks the passing hours, but here time doesn't rush, lingers, folding itself into the rhythm of home. The mirror glows in soft reflection, capturing the hum of afternoon light. Curtains in buttermilk and blue fall like quiet thoughts, and the whole room feels at ease, as if even the air has learned to rest. Afternoon settles across the room in golden hues. The indigo cupboards gleam beneath the sun, and the buttermilk walls glow with gentle warmth. A woven rug softens each step, and the hum of the washer feels like a lullaby for the house. On the work table, a spool of blue thread rests beside folded linen. The basket is half full, the work half done. But that's the beauty of it. A home that's never finished, only loved piece by piece. Freshly pressed clothes lie in quiet layers, each fold touched by afternoon light. A faint scent of lavender and starch drifts through the air. Feels like the memory of summers long gone. Gentle, easy, endlessly warm. Outside, the path glows gold beneath the lowering sun. Wicker chairs wait beside a wooden table, a few candles already lit for evening. The flowers lean toward the last of the light, a house breathing in its own comfort. Sunlight lingers on the edge of an old trunk, the leather deep with years and stories. Buttermilk tones wrap the space in gentleness, and indigo threads whisper through the rug like slow music. At the console, a still life unfolds. Blue china, ripened fruit, and the hush of hydrangeas feels like a letter from another time, written in patience and care. By the curtained window, velvet folds over the armchair, soft and rich like the heart of memory. You could sit here for hours, letting silence speak the language of belonging. As dusk gathers, the room glows with the warmth of old wood and gentle flame. It's not grand, but it is whole. A New England parlor that remembers what it means to love quietly. Morning drifts softly in, settling over a sofa wrapped in buttermilk calm. The indigo cushions carry quiet stories, their woven threads touched by countless hands and hearts. A tapestry glows beneath a brass sconce, its oxblood tones rich and steady. Through the doorway the dining room listens, chairs waiting, sunlight touching polished wood. The china cabinet is a poem of blues, deep, delicate, endlessly patient. Every plate holds a small piece of history, each one a circle of care passed down through years. In the stillness of the corner, folded quilts rest like dreams within reach. Their colors echo the home's palette: buttermilk, indigo, oxblood, the trinity of comfort and time. Evening settles softly over the kitchen, turning the window light to amber and gold. Steam curls from the kettle in graceful arcs, dancing through the calm of indigo and buttermilk hues. The rug glows beneath the low light, its oxblood tones rich as twilight wine. The hearth holds the scent of warmth, brick bread and quiet joy. On the stove, the kettle hums a low song. The handle gleams like an old story retold, and you realize the truest comfort comes not from what's new, but from what stays. Candles flicker against blue china and folded linen. The night feels generous, offering stillness, offering calm. Every reflection glows with love unspoken. This is not just a kitchen. It's the heartbeat of a home that remembers. Evening settles softly, draping the kitchen in its amber hush. The indigo cabinetry glows with quiet pride, while the old stools stand like patient witnesses to every story shared over bread and light. The table is dusted with flour, a trace of care left behind. Hands knead gently, not just shaping dough, but shaping love in its simplest form. Warm muffins rest under the soft gaze of twilight. Teapot waits, and blue bowls gleam with the ease of things well used. Outside, the window holds a mirror to dusk. The day sighs, and the room glows like gratitude. In the fading light, a metal pitcher cradles wild blooms, their stems brushing against woven cloth. Oxblood threads shimmer faintly, a small echo of the hearth's glow. Here beauty isn't arranged, simply lingers, like the warmth of home after everyone's gone to bed. The room glows in early light, buttermilk and blue mingling softly. A folded blanket, a length of rope, 2 spice mills turned smooth by time. Nothing here is new, yet everything feels alive. On the counter, a candle burns low beside a bowl of apples. The flame wavers gently, reflected in the brass, the wood, the quiet air. You can almost hear the echo of past mornings, tea kettles, laughter, the small kindness of routine. In the pantry, jars catch the light like glass notes in a song. Lentils, tea leaves, old wooden spoons. The scent of herbs drifts through the air. Familiar, grounding, true. It's a kind of order that feels like peace. By evening, the light softens into gold. The indigo headboard glows under lamplight, and quilts gather like gentle hands. Oxblood pillows rest like old hearts, still steady, still kind. The home doesn't speak, remembers, and somehow you do too. Morning light stretches across the floor, warming the braided rug and plaid drapery. The vase of flowers catches the glow. A touch of red, a hint of indigo, a small symphony of comfort and calm. The mirror above the console holds a faint reflection of the garden, blurring edges between inside and out. A woven basket, a folded blanket, The scent of lavender drifting in the still air feels like a pause made visible. By the wall, the patchwork pillow sits patiently, a quiet celebration of old fabrics and honest craft. Oxblood threads catch the flame's shimmer, as if they too remember the warmth of hands that made them. And there, by the window, the quilts rest, stacked tied, waiting for the next cool night. Each one carries a season, a heartbeat, a name. They are not just fabrics, but stories folded neatly, held by a home that never forgets. Evening arrives quietly, like a page turned without sound. The clock ticks under lamplight, its face golden and kind. Buttermilk walls catch the softest glow, and for a moment, you feel the house exhale. On the counter, quilts rest in patient stacks. Indigo fades into shadow. Oxblood glows like embers. Each fabric carries warmth from days long gone, and the faint scent of something tender. Maybe lavender, maybe thyme. The hallway hums with the quiet rhythm of dusk. Rug threads shimmer in the low light, and framed botanicals lean close, as though listening to your steps. Feels less like walking, and more like remembering. A candle burns low beside a basket of folded throws. Its flame trembles, painting gold over wicker and blue paint. The room feels whole, like every quiet hour of the day has gathered here. And as the night deepens, you realize this isn't just home, it's peace, made visible. Evening drifts in quietly, wrapping the room in a hush of gold and indigo. Candlelight trembles against buttermilk paint, casting shadows that dance like old memories. Every flame feels like a heartbeat, steady, small, and alive. The walls gleam under low light, their florals softened by the blur of time. The rug's oxblood reds glow beneath your feet, and framed prints shimmer like ghosts of summer gardens. It's quiet here, but not empty. The console glows beneath the weight of candlelight. A basket of blankets rests nearby, woven with warmth and stories. The scent of beeswax mingles with old paper, and you can almost hear the whisper of a song no one sung in years. In the last light, the sofa waits by the tall windows. Indigo melts into shadow, and the oxblood pillows glow softly, like embers holding on to day. Outside, the garden quiets, and inside, the house exhales, a sanctuary wrapped in calm and memory. Dusk gathers like a whisper around the windowsill, where lavender leans into the last of the light. The watering can glimmers faintly, its indigo enamel catching the day's final glow. The garden outside exhales, and the house listens. A single candle burns beside the blue teapot. Its flame flickers softly across old china, turning shadows into warmth. The scent of berries and wax drifts through the room, a hymn to the gentle end of day. Hydrangeas rest heavy in their porcelain vase, their colors dim to quiet gold. The wicker creaks under the weight of stillness, and every fabric glows in oxblood, blue and cream, a palette that feels like memory made visible. In the corner, the last steam curls from a forgotten cup. Red plaid curtains frame the soft dark beyond, and candlelight spills gently over woven textures. It's the hour where everything softens, the house, the air, the heart, and in that silence, you remember why home matters. Evening hums low in the quiet room, candles flickering against the indigo walls. The clawfoot tub gleams under their warmth, a red towel draped like memory across its edge. The floorboards creak softly, a lullaby of years and gentle use. On the counter, the ribbon soap waits in blue china, its scent of honey and lavender drifting through the air. The flame beside it wavers, its light brushing over porcelain vases and small brass handles that shine like forgotten treasure. By the basin, hydrangeas rest in a red jug, their petals blushed by candlelight. The old scale above gleams faintly, marking not weight but time. Each tick feels like a memory returning home. In the mirror's reflection, the room glows softly, blue gold and quiet. The curtains sway with the hush of night, their folds deep into indigo shadow, and for a moment, you could almost believe that peace is a place, and you are already there. Evening slips in quietly, turning the buttermilk walls to honey and shadow. The indigo cabinets darken into calm, their surfaces reflecting the amber glow of the lamps. The day slows here, every sound softened by the hush of twilight. The sewing table holds its quiet story, a spool of thread, a pair of folded sleeves, a red ribbon resting beside blue porcelain. The room smells faintly of cedar and candle wax, and you realize some forms of beauty are only visible at day's end. In the fading light, stacked linens turn to shadowed hues of cream and indigo. The wicker basket stands beside them, a keeper of gentle labors, a small monument to care. Outside, lanterns flicker against ivy walls. The table is set for no one in particular, just the night itself. The path glows under the weight of stars and memory, and somewhere in the quiet, you feel it, that soft ache of gratitude for a day well lived.